Hey there, Chris McCarthy here with Brand Identified, and today I want to talk about one of the services that we offer over at Brand Identified, and I'm going to show you how you can use BrandOptimizer.AI to build out your own custom strategy. So if you go over to Brand Identified and you search under Systems and you go down to Brand Design and Build, one of the services that we offer is messaging pillars and communication themes. So you can go ahead and click on this and you can get a free audit and then also a custom assessment. But what I want to walk you through today is a 6-prompt sequence that we've developed to go ahead and use BrandOptimizer.AI to build out your own strategy for your messaging pillars and your communication themes for your business. So you just have to head over to BrandOptimizer.AI. Make sure you are prompting these into this custom GPT, just not the generic chat GPT interface, because you're just going to give back a bunch of generic results. So head over to BrandOptimizer.AI, go ahead and launch the custom GPT. It's going to launch this custom GPT, and this is the 6-prompt sequence that we have set up for you to define your messaging pillars and your communication themes. So the first one is going to be a strategy prompt. The second one is an execution prompt. The third one is an audit and optimization prompt. The fourth one is a template and tool prompt. The fifth one is a role-based prompt, and the sixth and final one is an integration prompt. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. This is going to be help me build a complete strategy for messaging pillars and communication themes that aligns with our brand and our business goals. So over at BrandOptimizer.AI in this custom GPT, you're simply going to input that prompt. Once you hit enter, it's going to go ahead and access the brand identified knowledge base, and it's going to pull up the results for that. So it gives you an overview here first, and then it's going to give you a step-by-step sequence. So step number 1 is anchor your messaging in your brand purpose. And then what it's doing is it's giving you an audit tool and an assessment tool. So you can go ahead and click on these. These are going to link you off to additional tools and assessments. Step number 2 is define your 3 to 5 messaging pillars. Once again, we have an audit tool and an assessment tool for that as well. Step number 3 is going to be develop communication themes for each of these pillars. Step number 4, build your messaging hierarchy. So it's giving you a step-by-step process here with bullet points, what to do next, defining your 3 to 5 strategic themes. Step number 5, align with campaigns, sales, and all of your marketing channels. And we've got an audit tool and an assessment tool linked up here as well. Step number 6 is test, simplify, and refine. And then it gives you some final recommendations. So this is all pulling from the brand identified knowledge base. And then it's kind of giving you kind of a final here. So now we're moving on to prompt number 2, which is the execution prompt. This is going to be give me a step-by-step execution plan to implement messaging pillars and communication themes effectively in our business. So simply copy that back over here into BrandOptimizer.AI, send that prompt in. Once again, it's going to access the brand identified knowledge base. It's going to give you a quick little summary here. Then it's going into phase 1. That is your foundation and your strategy. And once again, we do have an systems assessment right here that you can link off to. Phase number 2 is going to be integration into your core assets. Now, I do want to emphasize that if you add this into just your generic ChatGPT interface, you're not going to get these results, and you're not going to get the links off to the audits and the free audits and the assessments. So make sure you are adding this into BrandOptimizer.AI. Phase number 3, training and enablement. Phase number 4, testing and feedback. Phase number 5, optimization and expansion. And then we've got some additional tools down here, which is a messaging hierarchy audit and a narrative systems audit. And then it's actually prompting you again with what you'd like to do next. But for right now, we're just going to continue moving down into the next sequence in the prompt, which is our third prompt, which is audit and optimization prompt. This is audit our current messaging pillars and communication themes and recommend improvements or optimizations that we can make. So we'll copy that, throw that into BrandOptimizer.ai, and we're going to get our results instantly here. So what it's asking for you now is it needs a little bit more information, so please provide this. So it's going to ask for your current 3 to 5 messaging pillars, examples of your communication themes, your brand's purpose, mission, vision, and values, your ideal customer persona, a link to your website homepage. So it's going to you're going to input this information, and then it's going to further analyze that. Now, for example, if you wanted to go ahead and define your purpose, mission, vision, and values, if you go back up here, we've actually provided those tools as well earlier on. So right here, we have this tool that you can go ahead and do this audit or do this assessment, and then you'll be able to answer this appropriately in this prompt. So it's giving you some other options that you need to do here. And now we're going to move on to the fourth prompt, which is the template and tool prompt. Provide a fill in the blank template or framework that I can use to create or improve our messaging pillars and communication themes. So this is a sequence. So once you continue moving through this sequence and you've completed this other step here where you've inputted your specific information, now you would go ahead and input this next prompt. So we'll add that in here, and then it's just going to give you, once again, another step-by-step process, and it's going to give you a template and a tool. So step number one, define the strategic role for each of those pillars. This is messaging pillars and communication themes framework. Now we've got the template format with your messaging pillar number one, and it's giving you some communication themes. So it's giving you some kind of templates to use here. So we help audience go from pain point to desired results in time frame and process. So it's giving you these little templates where you can just input your audience, your pain point, your desired results, and your time frame and process. So you can continue to prompt this with those for your specific business, and it's going to continue to give you better results. So we got messaging pillar number 3, messaging pillar number 4, and then we got some final steps. And then it's prompting you again if you would like a fully filled out example, so you can go ahead and continue on with that. But we're going to move on to the next prompt, which is the role-based prompt. And this is specifically for somebody within your organization, so we're going to have to fill that in. But how should a founder, CMO, marketing manager approach messaging pillars and communications themes in a growing business? So we're going to copy that. And then we have to define the specific role. So for here, I'm just going to use marketing manager. So I'm going to remove all this. And it becomes, how should a marketing manager, and we're going to enter that prompt into BrandOptimizer.AI and see what we get here. So the role of the marketing manager. And once again, it's accessing the brand identified knowledge base to come up with all this information based off of 25 years and working with hundreds of different clients. And then it also obviously connects to all these tools and additional resources and audits and assessments that you can go ahead and use to build out your own strategy using all these tools and templates. So we've got anchor in your brand strategy. We got build or refine your messaging pillars. We've got translate pillars into campaign ready communication themes. We've got integrate across teams and channels. Monitor and test and refine, and then gives you a final pro tip. And then once again, we've got a link off to an audit tool that you're able to use. All right, moving on to the final prompt today. This is prompt number 6 in the sequence. How does messaging pillars and communication themes connect with or support other areas like marketing, sales, or operations? So we'll add in this final prompt here and get our final results. So it's giving you a quick little overview here. And now it's going to give you, once again, a step-by-step sequence. So number 1, marketing drives consistency and campaign effectiveness. And it gives you the roles. 2, sales increase clarity and conversion. Number 3, we've got operations and delivery, which improves experience and retention. And number 4, strategic alignment, which builds a unified brand system. And then once again, it's ending with another tool assessment that you can link off to and then go ahead and use that tool and resources to even further define your messaging pillars and your communication theme. So that is the 6 prompt sequence that we've defined over at Brand Identified using BrandOptimizer.AI to define your own strategy for your messaging pillars and your communication theme. So grab that 6 prompt sequence and add them in over at BrandOptimizer.AI and start building out your own strategy.